The Great Wolf Lodge in Fitchburg, Massachusetts is the best indoor water park in New England. The highlight of this popular resort is undoubtedly the 68,000 square foot enclosed water park. This water park has a bit of a weird setup though, but that goes back to the history of this property. So in this review, I'll discuss everything you need to know about the Great Wolf Lodge's indoor water park. Most indoor water parks are housed in a single building. At this Great Wolf Lodge, you have two sizable areas connected by a breezeway in the hotel. It feels like two separate parks were built up independently of each other, because that's exactly what happened. The older building is the one with the lazy river, activity pools, Alberta Falls tube slides, and Otter Run body slide. This opened back when the property was known as Coco Key Water Resort at the Courtyard Marriott, Fitchburg. Coco Key is a smaller indoor water park chain across the country, but both their New England locations now operate under different names. In 2014, at a cost of $66 million US, Great Wolf Lodge acquired and renovated the Fitchburg property. They expanded the hotel and added a second section to the indoor water park. This section has the larger slides such as Helen Tornado and Wolf Tail, plus a wave pool and a kids' play area. While I never visited the old Coco Key, the consensus from those who did is that the entire property is much improved in almost every area, and the whole resort has the same feel as the other Great Wolf Lodges now, which is definitely a good thing. These hotels look really nice. The water park is included for hotel guests for the entire duration of their stay. The Great Wolf Lodge is a really nice wilderness-themed hotel, and there are tons of activities for kids, but it is very pricey. The cheapest I've ever seen this hotel go for is $200 a night on off-peak weekdays, but rooms can cost $500 to $1,000 per night on weekends or during school vacation weeks. Alternatively, non-hotel guests can purchase day passes. However, these are limited in quantity to prevent overcrowding for hotel guests, so I strongly recommend booking in advance. You also need to pay attention to the price. Off-peak weekdays can cost as little as $30, but weekends and school vacation weeks can cost upwards of $75 to $110. You can save roughly 20% if you purchase the Twilight ticket, which is valid after 4 p.m. I did this on an off-peak weekday, and I paid just $24, which was an amazing deal. And that was plenty of time to ride everything here. Because Great Wolf Lodge only offers a limited number of day passes, and not all hotel guests will use the water park simultaneously, lines are very manageable here. Even with a healthy number of guests, the longest line I saw was 10 to 15 minutes. The one weird thing with the queue lines here is that multiple slides use the same set of stairs. For example, the Otter Run body slide and Alberta Falls tube slide use the same staircase. Those wanting to ride the body slide are allowed to awkwardly squeeze past the army of tubes on the stairs and wait on the top platform by Otter Run. The River Canyon Run Family Raft Slide and Wolf Tail Trapdoor Slide have a similar setup. Most people are usually waiting for the raft slide, but it's harder to tell in this case because guests don't carry the rafts up themselves. But this setup does allow the same employee to run multiple slides at once, which helps prevent staffing issues during quieter periods that can close attractions at comparable parks. On that note, let's talk about the water slides. The slide lineup is fantastic for an indoor water park. While there aren't as many slides as outdoor parks, it's all about the quality here. My two favorite slides are in the newer section. Wolf Tail is the park's most thrilling ride. This Pro Slide Super Loop features the familiar countdown, and then you drop after a wolf howl. The initial drop as the floor falls out is just 20 feet or 6 meters tall, but it's near vertical and thrilling as it gives a free-falling sensation. You then whip around a fast and decently forceful downward spiral, and despite the slide's intensity, it is very smooth on your back. Helen Tornado is the park's most popular attraction. This Pro Slide Tornado features a fantastic drop. The initial turns and drop itself are in total darkness, so you cannot see it coming. And when you get a little airtime in total darkness with zero restraints, it really shocks you. The funnel section is a joy. You get weightlessness sliding up the walls, and at night, the enclosed funnel is illuminated by multicolored flashing lights. It's a spectacle both in terms of forces and visuals. The other slide in this section is the River Canyon Run Family Raft Slide. This one doesn't have any real drops or crazy speed, but the turns and helixes felt surprisingly tight for a ride like this. They pulled some force and felt like constrictor turns. In the older section, you have two really good tube slides in Alberta Falls. The right side has a dip early in the ride that builds up nice speed for the later turns, but the left side blew me away. Halfway through the ride, you start heading down a downward turn. You head down a pretty large drop afterwards. So while you're sliding up the wall in that first turn, you'll start accelerating downhill, and then you whip around a helix at the bottom. You are aggressively thrown around the tube. Just listen to the audio of my fiance and I riding this for the first time. We had no clue it was coming.
Oh my God.
Otter Run is decent. This body slide has a few solid turns towards the end, but was probably the weakest adult slide in the park in my opinion. It was smooth though. Beyond the slides, you have multiple water play areas targeted towards kids. You have the Fort Mackenzie complex with small slides and a dump bucket. You even have a smaller version in the Cub Paw pool over in the newer section, and I really like how they place one of these areas in each half of the park. You have a few other activity pools as well, such as Bigfoot Pass with the lily pads kids can cross, and Chinook Cove with all the basketball hoops. If you want to take it easy, you have a few options. Slaptail Pond is the wave pool. It constantly emits waves, but they're on a much smaller scale than most other wave pools. Crooked Cove is the lazy river. However, this course is very short and very narrow. As a result, it can get overcrowded and there's really nothing to see. It's arguably the weakest lazy river I've ever encountered. Then the North Hot Springs is a hot tub that's supposed to just be for adults, but I saw guests of all ages using it. In terms of atmosphere and appearance, Great Wolf Lodge does a good job. The park doesn't have a sunroof nor many windows, but the park is very well lit, so it doesn't feel as dark as most other indoor water parks. It makes the park feel more energetic and lively. The park only has a pinch of theming, mostly consisting of artwork on the walls, but the attractions are in pristine condition and look good. Great Wolf Lodge is very comfortable even in the dead of winter. The water park is kept at a toasty 84 degrees. It felt like a hot and humid summer day. Just watch out for the Arctic shock though when you pass through the breezeway connecting the two sections. That area was pretty darn cold. The same could be said about the hallways leading to the restrooms and changing rooms. The final thing to note is the arrival experience. All guests, both for the hotel and water park, need to check in at the front desk. There was a bit of a queue to do so, but they had 8 windows open, so it moved quickly. You then access the water park by getting a wristband, and then you walk through a few shops and through the arcade to get there. If you need a locker, they're located in the breezeway. Small lockers cost $10, and large lockers cost $12. There were not many large lockers, and they were sold out, so just keep that in mind if you arrive later in the day. But you don't have to worry about packing a towel because they're complimentary. So do I recommend the indoor water park at the Great Wolf Lodge in Fitchburg? Depending on what you pay, yes. If you can pay the off-peak rates, it's definitely worth it, especially in winter when the outdoor amusement and water parks are closed. Between the decent atmosphere and strong slide lineup, there really is something for everyone. However, I think the weekend and prime vacation week rates are too overpriced to be worth it given what the park has. Those rates are even higher than the water parks at Universal or Disney. But I do understand why Great Wolf Lodge charges what they charge, given their desired attendance cap and supply and demand. So those are my thoughts on the Great Wolf Lodge in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Have you been here? Do you agree it's the best indoor water park in New England? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.